Friends, welcome to the 156th session of Legal Empowerment Through Interaction lecture series. The journey continues. We have been exposed to different thoughts, ideas, and this week we had an exposure to the intellectual property as far as geographical indications were concerned day for yesterday. Today, we are exploring another facet of intellectual property, that too by the very same person who had introduced the topic the day before, Mr. Biju Kamath. And to introduce the topic as well as the speaker, we have Aarti Ashok. She is from QSAT Ernakulam, and we are today privileged with the presence of Justice Ramkumar sir, Justice Ramakrishnan sir, and all of you wonderful participants. Let us have the journey towards empowerment by interaction continue. So directly over to you, Aarti, for introduction of the topic, and of course the speaker if possible.
Thank you, sir. At the outset, let me extend my gratitude to Shyam Padman sir and the team of Legal Empowerment Through Interaction for letting me part of this program. When we commonly talk of intellectual property rights, the focus is always and usually on patent, copyright, and trademarks. It is very interesting to see that the areas like GI and designs are being discussed here. Now, just like any other kind of IP, on a day-to-day basis, we interact with design. From the smallest thing that we as a consumer make a choice to the largest, design is one of the essential features that we as consumers look into. But unfortunately, its legal regime is not much discussed. So when we are talking about design law, though it is very significant from a practical point of view, particularly from a consumer point of view, it should also be kept in mind that from an entrepreneurship point of view also, design is very important. One of the major examples I would like to take is that of V-Guard. Now, V-Guard, the major product had been stabilizer. Time in and time out, they have been a huge success with the stabilizer industry. But their product innovation is almost nil. They have been updating, but what captures the market is through design. They have come out with N number of different products. When I say products that look different. For TV, you have one. For fridge, you have another. For AC, you have something else. So they come up with product differentiation in that level so that it captures the consumer's eyes. So from an entrepreneur point of view also, design law is very significant. But the significance of design as a legal regime is not much reflected from the legislative point of view. Because when we look into the earlier acts, it was the 1911 Act which dealt with design law right up to 2000. And only in 2000 did the new legislation come into being. And the new legislation, yes, has revised the whole system. And currently there are a lot of filings happening, a lot of entrepreneurs going positively for recognition, a lot of consumers getting benefit of it. So design, as day goes, the significance is of much importance when compared to yesterday, and it's growing day by day. And the topic is of high relevance in that regard. And to discuss this topic today, we have with us Biju sir, who from the profile I saw that has been a constant player in the field of IP. He was a examiner for trademark with the trademark office, moving on to a senior examiner from the trademark and GI. Thereon, he moved on with the law firm Majumdar and Company International Lawyers as a senior consultant, again with the IP practice group, before coming into his current platform or current venture. So we have with us a very eminent personality to talk on the subject who is very well versed with it. Sir, I welcome you to the program and we look forward to be enlightened by you. Thank you.
Thank you, Aarti. Over to you, Biju. Straight.
So I'll do one thing. I'll share my slides.
Yeah, I'll enable that. 1 second. Just give me a second. Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Shyam, for giving one more opportunity to interact with this August online gathering, and that on another area of intellectual property, which is, as Professor Aarti said, that is less discussed or which is not that popular or well known as other IPs like patents, copyrights, or trademark. So designs, as I mean, she has put it in, in the right way, that although it is, has a very, I mean, in the present consumeristic, atmosphere, design has a very important role, because we can, if you, look at this last, the change in our market in the last few years, especially after this opening up of economy. So earlier, as a consumer, we were not much, concerned about this designs or this look of this product generally. So we were more concerned about the price or this how cheap it is, and that kind of, elements were the prior, concern in our, until a few years back. Now we are more, concerned about this, the look and the total, appearance of a product when you go for the purchase. So that is a change in our consumer mindset that you can see across everywhere. So in that way, as Aradhya said, that is it's a lot of importance from this entrepreneurial side as well. So this in India, this designs are the industrial designs. So Industrial Designs Act. So industrial designs is protected by 2 statutes. So the first one is Designs Act 2000, and other one is Designs Rule 2001, which have been amended in 2008 and 2014 subsequently. And this act, these are governed by the Controller General of Patent, Designs, Trademark under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And the Designs Office in India locates at Kolkata. This head office is in Kolkata. And however, the applications, there's other patent offices also accept the application, but the processing of the application, hearing all other subsequent, processing of the applications happens in the Kolkata office of the designs of, or the patent office. The Designs Office is a part of the patent office. So let us see what is a design as defined under the Designs Act. So it should be, as I said, it should be the outside external, this how you look at how this a product is viewed by this, us. That is the main ingredient of the design. That should be shape, configuration, pattern, ornament, composition of lines or colors or combination, or any, any of this all combination of all these elements, or any of these elements can constitute a design. And these elements applied on an article in either 2D or 3D forms by an industrial process. So this is the criteria of a design. So it should be an external outlook of a product. It should be either in 2D or 3D form and should be applied on the product through an industrial process. And it's appealing and judged solely by the eye. So that means no technical features, technological elements or the technical features of the product will not be covered by the Designs Act. Only the outside appearance of the product will be covered by the design. And it should not be a trademark or an artistic work protected under the Copyright Act. So this is the definition of a design under Section 2D of the Designs Act. So criteria for a registration. So it must be a finished article. It must be new or original. So the term new is not defined under the Act, but original is, defined. Original means it need not be a, altogether that design. The design that you are applying on a product need not be a non-existent one. So the original, the term defined under the Act like this, in relation to a design means originating from the author of such design and includes the cases which though old in themselves yet are new in their application. So I'll explain this in through an example. Suppose the Qutub Minar's designs. So Qutub Minar design is already in the public domain. But if you apply that Qutub Minar's designs on a cigarette lighter, for example, So that will be considered as a new design or an original design. That means that shape of the product itself need not be an original one. It can be an existing one, but if you apply that on a product, but there should not be another cigar lighter with the same design, that Qutb Minar's design. So that will be only the consideration. So the new or original only has that much, this implication. Then it should not be previously published or publicly known. So it should not be published. The same one should not be published or publicly known. So that includes the publication internationally in another jurisdiction, another country also will be considered for this. Then it must relate to aesthetic aspects of outward appearance, as we have already discussed. And it also must be integral with the article. So that design must be an integral part of that article on which this design is applied. And as it should not be as technical, it should not be connected with the technical features, as we already discussed. And it should not include, these are the three other criteria. It should not include any scandalous or obscene matter. It should not contrary to public order and morality. It should not prejudicial to India's security. So these are the criteria for registration of a designs under the Designs Act in India. So then now let us see why a design should be registered. In India, the protection of a design is available only on registration. If a design is not registered in India, you can't claim any right over the design, just like patent. So it is essential to register to get protection for your design. Even if it is, and it is a territorial nature. So even if this design is registered any other country, you can't claim protection of that design in India. Automatically, you won't get registration in India. So it should be, although it is registered in all other countries, but if you want to get protection in India, you should register that design separately in India as well. And then only after registration, only this proprietor will be able to initiate this infringement action against this piracy. So those who are, producing, importing, or similar kind of, similar looking designs. So if you want to take action against them, your trade design must be registered. Unless it is, registered, you will not be entitled to initiate infringement action against the, this fraudulent users. And after registration, the right can be, exclusive right will be granted to this proprietor to exploit the benefit for up to 15 years. But, initial registration is for 10 years and which can be extended by renewing for another 5 years. So total protection available in India is 15 years for copyright. Sorry, it's called copyright of design. So who can apply for this design registration? So any person claiming to be the proprietor of the design or proprietor's legal representative or proprietor's assignee can apply for the registration of design. So before filing a registration application, it's always advisable to carry out a search in the designs office so that you can make sure that no similar designs exist for the similar products exist in the register. Because if there is similar, already existing designs, your design will not get registration. So the search can be carried out in the designs office by filing an application, because you can't go there and or online also it is not possible to carry out the search. There is a prescribed form and you have to apply for the design search. And in the application you can give the image of the design to be searched. So the search fee is around 1,000 rupees. So application for the design it has two parts. One is the application form, and along with that, there should be a representation sheets. The application form contains the applicant's details as well as the product's name and the classification class. So classes as per the international classification, Locarno classification. We will deal with that in the next slide. So these details should be given in the application. And the official fees, as now after the amendment in the 2014, there are 3 slabs. That is one for individual applicant and small entity. Small entities is entity, falling under the small micro MSME Act. Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Act. So, which is entitled benefit under that MSME Act is treated as a small entity, and other companies which are not falling under this individual or small entity will be falling. Regarding the other slab. So there are 3 slabs for the official fee of the applicants. Then there are 2 types of application. One is ordinary application. Other one is priority application. Ordinary application is application if we file from Indian applicants, the file is a normal application. Priority application is an application coming from a priority country. Priority country means now all signatories of the TRIPS agreement is considered as a contracting party or the priority country under the Designs Act. So any applicant from those countries can apply for their design in India. If they apply for the same design in India within 6 months of their application in those their country, that's the contracting country, they can claim 6 months priority in India. That means if they file an application in US or UK, for example, on January 1st, and if they file same application in India within June 1st, then their application in India goes back to January 1st. So their application in India will be deemed to be filed on January 1st. So that is the concept of priority application. So they can the priority country, the applicants from priority countries can claim 6 months priority while applying designs application in India. So this 6 months priorities, as per the Paris Convention. So Paris Convention of Industrial Property. So that same provision was adopted under the TRIPS as well. So representation sheets. The representation sheet must contain the exact representation of the design. So it can either be drawing or photograph or computer graphics, but different views of the shoe. That means it's a front, back, top, from the bottom, perspective views. All these views must be given in the representation sheet separately. And if this design office is not satisfied with any of these views, they can also ask for the original sample of the product as well. Otherwise, the applicant need not give the the sample of product to the design office. So many may have that doubt whether the original product should be submitted along with the application. That is not required. Only in case the design office asks for, if they have any clarification or clarity issue or anything or any other issue, they can ask for submitting the original product for further examination. So classification, I said in the previous slides. So classification, products are classified under Locarno classification. India follows that classification system. It is an international classification system called Locarno classification. It was made under the Locarno agreement. India has, in fact, although India was following this classification system for the last several years, India has joined this treaty only in 2019. So as per this classification system, the goods are classified into 31 different classes and so many subclasses thereunder. So it's classified according to the types of the products. So if a design is applied, on products in different classes, separate application will have to be filed. Means a combined application for a single product in different classes cannot be filed. But this kind of application is possible in Europe and many other countries, but India it is not possible. If you need to file a same design in different classes, you have to file those applications. That separate application will have to be filed. Then along with this representation sheets, a statement of novelty has to be given. So statement of novelty that what is the, Original. What is the novelty of where you are claiming? What part you are claiming? For example, this is a plate. It's a design. So this designs your, I mean, and the application will say that if the applicant is claiming the this designs of this plate, that floral designs on the design, I mean plate, to say that the novelty resides in the surface ornamentation of the, or floral design, whatever, of the dish as illustrated. This kind of a statement must be given in the representation sheet. Also, there should be a disclaimer statement that this is the language normally used in the application. No claim is made by virtue of this registration. That means that there's no, this design application is nothing to do with any technical feature of this application. That's the one disclaimer. Other one is that this doesn't, I mean, we don't claim any, I mean, trademark rights over any of the designs or colors or numbers or whatever is used on this design. So these two disclaimers also should be included in the representation sheets. So this is the, I mean, a flow chart of the, design applications processing in the designs office. After filing, this application will be examined by the designs office. If any objection is there, they will issue an examination report. You can remove those objection. Normally, we will get up to 3 to 6 months time for removal of objection. You can file the response, and if there is no objection, it will straight away will be advertised in the official patent office journal. Earlier, it was official gazette. It is published. Now it is published in the patent office journal. It is a weekly publication. Normally, they publish every Friday. So if this response to the objection report, that first examination report, that's it's called. If the response is not satisfactory, they may schedule a hearing of this application, and after the hearing, they can either accept or refuse. If it is refused, this option is to the appeal is before the High Court. Intellectual Property Appellate Board does not have jurisdiction over the Designs Act. So all other appeal from other trademark, patent, copyright, and all lie before the IPAB, Intellectual Property Appellate Board, but for designs, still with the High Court. So this is the after the acceptance, after this registration certificate will be issued, and after the publication of the, after issue of the registration certificate, it will be published in the, actually that in the trademark and patent, it is the other way around. So here, this trademark, you may be aware that after acceptance, it will be published, and this public will get a chance to oppose. If anybody wants to oppose this application, they get a chance to oppose this application. But under the Design Act, there is no such opportunity. After examination or after acceptance, it will be registered and then it will be published. And in case anybody has any grievance, they can file only a cancellation action. So that is the difference of the Designs Act, unlike other IP statutes. So validity of registration. So as I said, after the registration, it will be published in the Patent Office Journal, and this that I already explained. So the date of registration of a design will be the date of application. As I said, in Indian, when the application is actually filed in India. In case of priority application, that will be the date of registration will be the priority date, as I explained earlier. So registration is valid for 10 years and it's renewable for another 5 years. So this, we have already discussed in the earlier, that's a right of the proprietor. After the registration, they gets this exclusive rights to initiate infringement action and right to assign and license a design, and his exclusive right to apply this design to the product according to his, wish. So that is, these are the rights available to a registered proprietor. And cancellation action, just now I said this only a remedy available for an aggrieved party against the registration of a design is to file cancellation action. This cancellation action can be filed before the design office. So this cancellation action can be filed under any of these grounds, that it is previously registered in India, already registered in India, So it was published elsewhere prior to the date of registration. This same design was published either in India or in any other jurisdictions, any other countries prior to the date of registration in India. So it is not a new or original design or not registrable under the Designs Act as per the criteria provided under the Act. So not a design at all as defined under the Designs Act. So under any of these following grounds, any interested persons can file the cancellation action before the design office. So now the piracy of design. Piracy of design is defined as application of a design or its imitation to any article belonging to a class of articles in which the design. So this is the definition of piracy of designs given under the Designs Act. So without the proprietor's consent, if any third-party persons use the same designs on the same types of goods, so same type of goods in the same class, then that will be regarded as a piracy of design. So against the piracy of designs, under the Designs Act, there is no criminal remedy is available. Only civil remedy is available under the Designs Act. Just like in patent and under the Patent and Designs Act, no criminal remedies are available. So under the civil remedy, for every contravention of these provisions under the Designs Act, the infringer is liable to pay an amount not exceeding 25,000 to the proprietor as a contract debt. So, but there's a maximum limit. It's 50,000. It should not exceed 50,000 rupees. So this is the, one remedy available under the Designs Act. But apart from that, this registered proprietor also can sue for the damages, of course, and injunction against the infringer. So this, jurisdiction is with the district court. This suit for infringement, should not be filed to any court below the court of district. So district court has jurisdiction over this, infringement suits, designs infringement suit, and criminal remedies are not available. And cancellation in an infringement suit, the defendant can take the, cancellation ground as defense. So, so the grounds which we have discussed now for, for cancellation of a cancellation of a registered designs can be taken as a defense, because this particular design, because if the registered designs, infringement suit is filed based on a registered design. So then the defender can take the defense that this registered design is not not eligible to be a registered design. So it should have been cancelled. It should be, it should be cancelled on the grounds, any of those grounds which we had discussed earlier, because either it is not a design, it is not eligible to be registered a design, or other any of those grounds, it can be taken as a defense. In case the only this point to be noted here is that in case the defendant takes such a defense, then the court, the district court, or wherever it is pending, that court should immediately transfer the suit and all related proceeding to the high court concerned. So in case the defendant takes such a defense, then that district court will not have jurisdiction to try that, suit, and then it will have to be transferred to the high court. This is the same provision is applicable in the patent infringement cases as well. There also, if the defendant take this, challenge the validity of the patent, then it will be transferred to the high court concerned. So the interplay with the Copyright Act, because I discussed, because there is a provision that the designs, it should not be an artistic work which is, under the subject matter of the Copyright Act. So such, designs are not registrable under the Copyright Act. However, there is a provision under Section 15 of the Copyright Act. Section 15 of the Copyright, Section 15 of the Copyright Act says that if a design is eligible to be an artistic work, and if an artistic work is eligible to be registered under the Designs Act, but it is not registered. If it is not registered, if it is eligible to be registered under the Designs Act, but not registered, in such cases, that particular artistic work will automatically get protection under the Copyright Act. If it is a artistic work which is eligible to be registered under the Designs Act, and if in case it is not registered, then Copyright Act will automatically come into play and they will get protection. That particular design will get protection under the Copyright Act. However, there is a rider. In case that, a design, that particular artistic work is applied on a article, and that article is produced more than 50 times through an industrial process, then that copyright protection will be lost. So you can produce that a product under such artistic work only up to 49 pieces. If you cross that threshold limit of 49, then you will lose the copyright protection. So this is the where there is an interplay with the Copyright Act. So this is basically for to see that this design, this protection, this provision of this 50 pieces, 50 times is given to avoid the evergreening of designs, because you know that the Designs Act is limited. It's only for 15 years, whereas the Copyright Act protection is longer. So it is during the lifetime of the author plus 50 years or 60 years. So that is the that's much longer. So if it is protected after this 15 years, then if it is also protected under the Copyright Act, then you can easily extend your protection of these designs beyond that 15 years. So that is the reason why this is limit is given under this Copyright Act. So that here I'm going to discuss a few case laws where it's some major case laws where important findings by some of the high courts. So one is regarding the infringement, this infringement of designs. So in this case, Delhi High Court said that if to ascertain infringement, you need not place the two products side by side and compare which part is similar, which part is not similar, because overall look and appearance of this the product is similar to the registered designs. That is sufficient to constitute infringement. This is the Vplast Houseware Private Limited versus Bonju International and another. It's a 2011 case law. And this Reckitt Benckiser India versus White Limited, whereas again Kolkata High Court said that while a design may not be new because it exists in the public domain and is otherwise well known, it may still qualify. This is the what I had said, the example of Qutub Minar. So it may still qualify as an original if it does design that particular design may be already existing, but if you apply afresh on a new manner, that which it is if it has not been previously applied on similar product, then it can claim originality or the newness to your over the product to be eligible for registration. Then another important case. This is whether a registered proprietor can initiate cancellation, infringement action against another registered proprietor of a design. So that was a very interesting question. So in this case, the Whirlpool and Videocon, that is the latest one. So that is, both are in the same time only, the Delhi High Court and Bombay High Court. So the Whirlpool's, this washing machine of the same design was copied by Videocon. Both got registration. So that is maybe because of the I will blame it on the quality of the examination of the design. By the examiners in the design office. Both got registered, and Against the Videocon's registration, Whirlpool filed the infringement action, and the Bombay High Court said that it can be, because the court pointed out this issue also, because before you don't get the registered proprietor doesn't get an opportunity to oppose a design before its registration. So then the other side said that then you can only option is to file cancellation action, but court said that no, this can, because if there is sufficient reason to allow such an infringement action, although the other side also, other defendant also is a registered proprietor, and then finally that registration was cancelled. So in this, Delhi High Court also in this held in the same way, this infringement action against a registered proprietor, there is no bar in initiating a infringement action against a registered proprietor. That's all from my side. I think we can have further discussion on this, if any.
Visual last, in one screen you had shown that Reckitt Benckiser's case, Reckitt Benckiser versus Wheat.
Benckiser, yeah.
See, you referred to it in a different way. See, Reckitt Benckiser was a Delhi case, and you referred a Calcutta case. Right? Yeah. Because you were saying that in Reckitt Benckiser, what was held was that a design, either to be new or original, within the meaning of this particular statute, it need not be new or original in the sense that it was having before. But actually, I think Reckitt, in that particular case, there was a Delhi judgment which held otherwise. That was a case which concerned with the registration of certain kind of spatulas. And the defendant claims that the appellant's design, it was never original, as it has already been registered in a foreign country prior to the registration in India. And the Delhi High Court goes on to hold in that case that if it can be shown that the design as was disclosed anywhere, either in India or in a foreign country, by any of the means which you see in section 4 of this particular act, then the registration in India, that would be deemed to be or considered to be cancelled. Because what you were referring to is the Gameters case in Calcutta of 1919. I think there is some confusion in that.
Oh, maybe I'll check. Number Reckitt, I think 2-3 cases were there, because I may have got. I'll recheck and I'll.
But the number shown is OS. Is it the original side? District court suit.
No. But this in the high courts they have original jurisdiction. In this
presidency courts,
Bombay presidency high courts have the original jurisdiction. Delhi, Bombay, Calcutta.
That is why we have the largest number of cases coming from the Delhi High Court.
IP cases.
The best cases in intellectual property, I can say that it comes from Delhi High Court.
Delhi, because Delhi is easier to get ex parte injunction. That's why.
And also sometimes you also get Bombay also.
Bombay it is, but Bombay mostly, I mean, the notice is, is a rule. Other one is an exception. There in the Delhi, it is the other way around. This ex parte is the rule.
Addendum order,
everyone wants to somehow get this jurisdiction there in Delhi.
That's correct. And best cases all come from. May we get the comments of Justice Ramkumar, sir, please?
Well, in fact, it's a new subject for us, and good articulation by our. Now, I have one doubt. Can there be a design on a fabric design registered on a fabric?
Yeah.
Then could there not be an overlapping of trademark and Designs Act and Trademarks Act? For example, trademark is the definition of mark and trademark are so widely given that it can be even a trademark also. Is not? See the mark definition.
Any design letter, anything will come.
Yes, sir, I understand.
2M. Section 2M says.
It's very wide, yeah.
Very widely defined.
Shape, design, everything.
Includes a device, brand, heading, label, ticket, name, signature, word, letter, numeral, shape of goods, packaging or combination of colors or on combination thereof. And trademark says to ZB. It means a mark capable of being represented graphically and which is capable of distinguishing the goods or services. So supposing the goods is fabric and a mark can be registered in respect of fabric, it can be a design also, is it not? If it is original.
No, that's another. So that we have to give that disclaimer, and this if it's not a trademark, because if it is a not trademark, cannot be registered as a design. So that is why that separation is given. This is a disclaimer statement should be given under the design, because but there is an I mean overlapping here.
Yes.
For example, a design can also be a shape of a good 3D shape. A 3D shape of a product also can be a trademark. For example, I mean, a classic example is a Coca-Cola bottle. Coca-Cola bottle is bottle shape is a trademark. It's an internationally well-known trademark. It's not registered in India, but India other some very famous vodka bottle is registered as I forgot that Russian name.
Thumbs Up. So, I think Thumbs Up is registered. You know.
No, it's a vodka bottle. That's a Gober Show vodka. So that very unique shape of that bottle is registered as a trademark in India. But at the same time, that is eligible to be registered as a design as well in India. But if you registered such a mark as such shape as a design, you will get protection only for 15 years. But if it is registered as a trademark, you can enjoy without any limitation,
yes.
Unlimited period.
The life of the artist plus 60 years or so.
No, that's not a trademark. There is no limitation.
Copyright.
Oh, that's copyright. For the under the trademark, there is no limitation.
No limitation.
You can enjoy as long as you want. Trademark.
And
because you have to give a statement that this is not a trademark.
And the design definition says configuration, pattern, ornament, composition of lines, colors.
Yeah, that's I'm coming to that textile design, sir. So textile design there's I mean two issues. Textile design can either be designed protected under the Copyright Act or the Designs Act. But if you register under the Copyright Act, there will be issue of this 50 times repetition, 50 pieces. If you cross that threshold, then you will lose this protection under the Copyright Act. Okay. So normally this textile designs will be registered under the Designs Act only. So then you will get that protection for. And however, if it is a designer, pieces like couture, haute couture kind of designs with very specific pieces. So that they won't produce more than 300 because the designers they will maybe 15, 20 maximum. More than that they won't produce designer dresses. So those dresses normally this Indian well-known designers they register normally under copyright. Because that registration is more stronger and longer. Okay. So this is the otherwise normal fabric designs of will be designed and registered under the Designs Act. However, as you said, if a particular design can be registered as a trademark, if it is eligible to be registered as a trademark, so that can be registered on the as a trademark also. So I will tell you one example of Louis Vuitton's bags. Louis Vuitton's bags designs of having their logo. So it's a very famous bag having LV throughout with a floral design, black and yellow. Louis Vuitton's that design is a very internationally well known. So that they have registered as a trademark because that is an identity of their products.
And apply to goods.
On the bags,
goods, yes.
Designs on the bags, design that particular floral design along with their logo is on the
okay.
So that bags designs itself registered as a design. So if, as you said, if that particular textile design is eligible to be registered as a trademark, very unique, and if it is eligible, the basic condition, if it's capable of distinguishing the source of the product, that kind of distinctiveness is there for that particular design, that can be registered as a trademark. Of course, okay. No bar for.
Wonderful articulation. In fact, can adding on that, supposing the fabric is registered under the Copyright Act and the package, can it not be registered under the Trademarks Act? Package with a unique design.
Of course. It is a trade dress. It is not normally, it is named as a trade dress. Packaging is with a trade dress.
Yes.
Packaging is
Yes.
normally registered under the trademark. The package and shape of that package,
Yes, yes.
particular shape of the package, or that.
There can be two registrations in respect of a product.
Yes,
One
yes.
inside the package and one outside the package.
Yeah, right.
Is not.
There can be,
Trademark
yes.
of the package and the
Word
design
mark, that product, yes, design, that packaging.
for inside product.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Good articulation. Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Ramkumar, sir. Can we have the comments of Justice Ramakrishnan, sir, please?
No, it's a new subject, so I am only a listener. And really, anyhow, see, if there is a possibility of a low, as Ramkumar has said, will it not possible for a person who is applying for it, overlapping, will it not prefer for a trademark than the design?
Yeah.
Because it will have a longer period.
Definitely.
If that be the case, what is the distinction between a design, defined under the Design Act, where exclusive registration can be possible only there, and what is the distinction between trademark? Suppose both are eligible for a registration.
Yeah. So I'll say that this.
How will you distinguish that it will not come under the trademark and it will not come? It will come under only the design.
This to be under the under the trademark, I will take this under the Trademark Act. The Trademark Act, this distinctiveness is one of the major factor. That means when you see a product, if it is a design, the 3D shape, that the normal people, anyone, the consumers or any person, see this. When they see this product, they should immediately connect that design with this producer, the source of the product.
Yes.
So that kind of, it should acquire that distinctiveness by way of use. Then only normally this we will accept the registration.
For example, Bata shoes, the package and the contents. For the design of the shoes can be separately registered. And the Bata package, that is very unique, is it not?
That can be there. So no, so I think Sarah said that. Asked what is the if the same product is eligible to be registered on the design as well as Trademark Act. What is the difference? So to be eligible to be registered under the Trademarks Act, that particular design should acquire a distinctiveness so that the connection between the product and the source of that should be established. For the design, when you apply for a design, that factor is not
you need not. So for suppose I am applying for I am applying for a design to be registered. I need not say I am going to use design for a particular product. No, not necessary.
Yes, it should.
So if that is there also it will be distinctively or interconnected with the product also.
No, there it should be new.
Any article.
There it should be new. It should not be published anywhere. In the trademark, if you so there it should not be published anywhere. It should not be used anywhere. So
here you can
even if it is new original. Original. It should be new and it should not be published anywhere else.
No, even say for example, I am telling Taj tea.
Yeah.
Taj Mahal is provided for a Taj tea. Taj Mahal is always it is eligible for, everybody can know that the Taj Mahal is there. Probably in a particular way in which you are designing it and also apply for trademark with that particular design. Say that it is distinctly associated with the tea product.
That kind of, that packaging cannot be registered under the design. It should be on a product. Under the Designs Act, asking about the package of a design. Package of a tea box, it is not registrable under the Designs Act. It should be applied. The design should be on a product. Product design should be applied on a product. So then only it will be eligible for registration.
Suppose you are Louis, what do you call that trademark for the Louis Philippe? This thing you are having some mark on your shirt.
Yeah.
So those will be coming either under the Designs Act or under the TPA.
That's all are under. That's textile design. Textile design.
No, textile. No, normally they will be marked.
Logo will be under the Trademark Act. the design of the fabric design will be under the
Design.
Design.
Design side.
Anyway, it's a new subject and it's an informative one. Thank you very much for your articulation and also clarifying things. And also the disclaimer you said.
Yes,
And
sir.
another thing I want to know, that suppose you said that 25,000 and 50,000 is a civil suit limit. What do you call it? Suppose you said that you can also go for damages also.
Damage. This is
No. I want to know. See,
Yeah.
once you fix the amount as 25,000, what is the name called for that amount then?
this is called a contract debt. That's what this is a compensation kind of in the form
No,
of a
if, no, if you
contract
say
debt.
if you say it is a compensation, then there is no question of another claim for compensation arises for the loss sustained on account of your unlawful use of that particular design.
So this act provides for this damages as well.
Now, how will you
Act provides
distinguish
for
these
claiming
things?
damage. Both can be claimed. So otherwise, apart from this, the act says that you can claim for damages as well separately.
No, suppose
This is a fixed amount for one contravention. This much amount.
so
Kind
apart
of
from
that is a term you said. This is by way of a contract debt. That is what the act says. And apart from simultaneously, you can claim for damages as well. So this is only this particular provision is available only under the Design Act. Under no other act I have seen this particular.
So normally, in some other cases, you will say the
only damages.
fine or penalty will be there in that form.
Right.
But
Because
damages, civil suit damages, entirely different depending upon your proof of what is the nature of damage
Exactly.
sustained by you. But
Exactly.
here I find that the amount you said that both are available.
Both are
Then
available
suppose
simultaneously.
I am not able to prove more than 50,000 rupees. Suppose the act says that I am entitled for 25,000 to 50,000. How will you fix the amount
up to that is upper limit. That too is upper limit.
No, that upper limit also. What is the criteria? Suppose with the damages, I can say whatever be the amount of damages are sustained, I am entitled for that. If I can able to prove that I have sustained 1 lakh or 2 lakhs or 50 lakhs, depending upon my sale for one particular period and the second period.
So other one, because this 25,000, 50,000, only you need to establish the infringement. For the damages, you have to establish the laws.
Also, no.
Laws and this.
No. I do not know how to convince
So
you. Even for 25,000 and 50,000, there must be some criteria to say minimum 25,000. Whatever be, I will say there is an infringement, I will get 25,000. If I want to get more than 25,000, what are all the further things to be proved by me for getting that amount? Apart from the damages, you said that independently claim for the trade loss, whatever we name called. So how will you fix that 25,000 to 50,000? How will you range this? This is a discretion.
This 25,000, 50,000, that is upper limit. That you won't get anything more than that. That's the upper limit. So other ones, sir.
Supposing the question is, supposing I want to claim 40,000, how will I claim 40,000?
25,000.
Damage only. By way of damages only. No other way, but damages. You'll have to show. Account of profits from the other side. You'll have to.
Then I will get only only 25,000 rupees for this. Thereafter, again, either I will 15,000 or over and above 25,000, I will again 40,000. I will get it.
That's both simultaneous. That's provision because in fact that is
peculiar
provision under the Designs Act.
No, any case law deals with how this is being distinguished, how it has been awarded is the question. Because when you award, because all those things will arise in a practical way when we are awarding the compensation.
But this is only for infringement, is it not? Infringement. Only for infringement, right?
Infringement, only for infringement.
No, there also the question will be now that 25,000 is there. How will you say that I'm upper limit? When I will be entitled to get upper limit? One.
More than this 25,000.
25,000.
There is no provision to get more than that. That's under this.
If I am able to show
as a damages only. By way of damages, you
if I am able to
total loss cost and
exactly.
Also the profit account of profits and how much profit that other side has made out of this infringement.
In that case, if I am able to show I sustained loss of 40,000, then will that not be set off in this regular suit for damages? Should it not be set off? There also the extent of loss suffered is the criteria. Is it not?
No, probably no, sir. When you apply for infringement suit, automatically the consequential relief or damages also will come. I don't think that they will go for two different suits.
Yeah.
They
Right.
won't go
Normally
for
that will
two
be both together only. Normally
together
that
only.
will be included. I mean, clubbed only. That claim will be normally that will. I mean, there won't be separate suit. That will also will be that claim also will be. I mean, clubbed with this main suit. So that's a normal how the suits are filed.
Because I don't find how to calculate this. That is that is
So
one
different courts. In fact, different courts will take. I mean, different criteria. There is no. I mean, established.
Well, not that some
criteria.
when some courts have derived some principle as how this will
Principle,
be
yeah, right.
awarded, there will be some criteria would have been applied by that court, because only it comes into the what do you call the presidency courts.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
are
right.
only doing all those
Right,
things
right.
normally.
Oh,
So yeah,
over
I
and above.
remember.
There will be
So
some
I
guideline.
remember. So I remember the last year
some
in
guideline would
Bombay
have
High
been given by the courts as to how infringement how the amount will not be given up to 50,000, and how over and above the infringement charges, I can say instead of saying it's damages, infringement charges, what is the compensation that can be paid independently over and above that amount. See, normally if they say it is do different, it should not overlap, because whatever I get here, it should not be adjusted to the damages claim. Then
Is the suit for infringement or
infringement only. Infringement suit, that then a claim of I mean, this damages also will be there.
Otherwise order to rule 2 will come, sir. You cannot file a separate suit for damages again.
Yeah, right.
You will have to go along with this only.
No, but see, the wording in section 22(2)(a). See,
yeah, right.
22(2) says one is A says it shall not exceed 25,000 rupees, which is recoverable as a contract debt. Or
B says it is a suit for damages. You cannot claim both. See, the word used is or. See the election. Is the doctrine of election will apply.
Doctrine of election. You cannot go for
no. Otherwise, it will not be. It will appears to be an absurdity. Both
because
can apply.
Yeah. There is Prem, you are correct.
I don't have the accurate because I am only going with what you have said in the presentation.
Right. Because I was I mean wrong in that. So
Otherwise,
it is, or it's an option, or this option. I mean, you can elect. Yeah.
Otherwise, if I am awarded 50,000 for the infringement of the design, then can I claim damages also? That is also damage only, is it not?
Correct.
You call it contract debt.
The same
Whether you call it contract debt.
No, where I am able to prove more than 25,000, I can opt for damages. If it
more
is not,
50,
I can more than.
Normally, we will I mean opt the other one only. There's damages only.
Exactly.
Because that's why the 22(2)(b) begins
actually,
with the word. If he elects to bring a suit, 22(2)(b), if he elects to bring a suit for recovery, see the doctrine of election.
Okay, thank you very much.
So we'll have the comments from the person who introduced the topic also. Aruthi Ashok, please, your comments on that. You are not audible. We'll come back to you anyway. Let us see. By the time you get the technical hitch corrected, we'll go to Mr. KVJ Rao, sir, please. You have put your hands up. You will have to unmute. Let's see what happens.
We faced all these problems till 2000 and we gave up. You all know how coveted Air India bags were, Air India things were. The Air India mascots, the Maharajas. We had to file so many cases. At last, the High Court said, how many people are we going to punish? Because in the Mofussil areas, there were many people who were selling it because it was a crazy thing prior to 2000 when the other airlines came in. Otherwise, before that, it was only Air India. We used to sell our bags also. Overnighters, they were most coveted. Even today, like if you search on Google, people are selling those vintage things. Like our badges are there, the Maharaja logo pins and so many things. So we faced a lot of it till 2000, then we just gave up because we also made a mistake in 2000 where we changed our logos and then it lost its market sheen at that point of time. So we've gone through this a lot, and ultimately even the court said, "Okay, how many are you going to file?" I mean, we being a government organization, we could spend money to file cases, but then we found out there were poor people in Mofussil areas who were manufacturing handbags pouches with Air India logo. So then we gave up at that point of time. So it is good. In a way, it is good to have the trademark where business is being done. But Air India never sold everything. Everything was on for a publicity and were giveaway items. So, but it was a trademark, no doubt. The Maharaja today also is still our mascot, and only thing our logos kept.
No, I think they are only giving us a compliment or something like that only. Not
Yeah,
as
now,
a,
now it is like that. But earlier, sir, we were selling. In the beginning, the overnight briefcase was the most coveted thing because for 2-day and 3-day travel, that was the best briefcase available.
But there also you don't manufacture, is it not? Only subcontract.
Yeah, we subcontracted, but then it carried our logo and it that
Outsourcing, yes.
So anything that said Air India was coveted, like
Yes.
you had traveled yourself.
Even your Bata is not manufacturing themselves. Everything
Yes.
is outsourced. Only the
Maharaja.
Today,
Maharaja
Now
had
mostly-
his time. Good.
yes,
So
yes.
now mostly
Today
come
we
from
become-
China, sir.
Today is a
Now-
pauper. There's nothing we can do. But then we designed a lot
Maharaja
of.
coming from China.
China,
take
China
our-
only.
You take our saris. The saris were all registered trademarks. The air hostesses sari, the uniforms, the saris. I mean, we had the
Okay, the
best.
particular yeah.
We were using Kanjivaram saris at one point of time. I mean, if you go and search in the international thing, Air India uniforms, the ladies' saris were most coveted. I mean, they stood out anywhere they went because we had our the fabrics, the designs on the fabric. It was really great. I mean, nice subject. Nice to hear him out. Thanks, sir. Thanks very much for all.
Okay, Vijay Rao, sir, the only sad thing is that Air India has come to such a stage that nowadays saris only stand out, nothing else.
Yeah, I agree, sir. You see, sir, it is now the question of you have to understand where it comes from, sir. We have lost. See, sir, I'll be very honest. People criticize JRD Tata, but I will send you photographs where even draping of the sari, Mr. JRD Tata used to come and check. Sir, when JRD Tata used to fly on the aircraft, even though he was in first class, he never was sitting idle. He would make notes. I'll give you a simple example. The glasses in the first class were individually wrapped with tissue paper. Okay. We ran out of tissue paper on the Rome Geneva sector, just 45 minutes. But he noticed that the tissue papers used were the expensive ones and not the regular ones. The station manager was fine. You see, because he was very particular, sir. The man was meticulous. And Mr. Bobby Kuka, I mean, since we're talking of design and advertising, Mr. Bobby Kuka is the doyen of Air India publicity. Like he took Air
Absolutely,
India
sir.
to its zenith. So
Now the hostesses are pot bellied.
Sir, unfortunately,
The least said the
sir,
better.
no, sir. Sir, like I said, I was the general secretary of the Air India Air Hostesses Association. The moment Article 14 came in, we fought, we lost. Then the government said, no, politicians said, no, we'll give it. We took it to a length. So then, because earlier the retirement age was 35, sir. Then 35 became 40, 40.
no, not
became
only that.
45.
No, I think that once married, she will be losing the.
Yes, sir. In the initial stage.
That's the case.
Then we took it to. Then we took it
subsequently
to.
everything has changed. Those
No,
things
sir,
are not
yes.
the reason for your comments.
Then we
now.
took it to 2 children. Then we took it to the 2 children norm. And then ultimately, then everything was allowed. So that's it. I mean, yeah, it's sad. I mean, we all feel bad when we read whatever we read today. Like today, the employees are planning to buy it, but it's not going to be happening. It's not going to be easy. But then that is. that is
Thank you,
what
sir.
it is.
So we'll move to Dilip, sir. You unmuted yourself, please. I think Arti Ashok is also there, but in the meanwhile, let us first go to Dilip. Dilip, sir, please.
Good evening, Vijay sir, and every distinguished guest. I just wanted to answer the query noted by Mr. Ramakrishnan, Justice Ramakrishnan sir, regarding the,
Competition.
reconcilability of the two legal provisions. Legal
Contract debt.
Yeah, one is contract debt, that is reflective of the principle of injuria sine damna. Even if there is no damage, you can sue for contracted debt to the maximum extent of 25,000 rupees, which the court will fix. What is your actual, what can be the,
What is the criteria?
there should be infringement. If there is an
That is so. But between 25 and 50, what is the criteria?
it's not mentioned in 25 in the same clause. The 50 is said as a uniform design. That the second, the next step is if the person elects to
No,
for damage.
between 25,000 is the minimum, 50,000 is the maximum.
No,
In between, how do you decide?
that is for the combined reliefs of damages as well as
No,
No,
no.
no. See the
I
first
don't know.
provide.
No, I don't think so. I don't think it is possible.
No,
First provide no.
let me read 22.2. If any person 22.2.
2A and
16,
see the first
25,000.
provide no to B.
I will start with 22.2. If any person acts in contravention of this section, he shall be liable for every contravention. A. To pay to the registered proprietor of the design a sum not exceeding rupees 25,000 rupees recoverable as contract debt.
Now, Mr. Biju, where do you get this 50,000?
50,000 comes
Provide
later.
no.
It's there.
Provide so.
Then
Immediately after.
B. If the proprietor elects to bring a suit for the recovery damages for any such contravention and for an injunction against the repetition thereof, to pay such damages as may be awarded and to be restrained by injunction accordingly, that is the relief sought for. Then, provided that the total sum recoverable in respect of any one design under clause A shall not
A.
Clause A.
A alone, not B.
So between 25,000 and 50,000, how do you decide the criteria?
Exactly.
Suppose the registered owner is able to prove that his damages is more than 25,000, but it's more than 25,000. But the court has to limit it to 50,000.
Then that amount will have to be set off while awarding the damages for common law remedy, is it not? If it is damages, but they call it contract debt.
Contract debt.
Probably it is, if it is a recurring cause of action where it is continuing cause of action, probably more than 25,000 up to 50,000 can be granted.
Then there cannot be, should not be any limit. It is recurring.
No, where the upper limit will be only 50,000, only two will be taken note of, probably.
Yes.
One. Secondly, no, I don't think so. What you said is correct, because if I go for a more amount, then I will have to elect. I will have to elect for either for a damages, even at that time, if at that time, then I can even go for more than 50,000.
Yes.
Correct. You have to elect between A and B.
A and B. Suppose if I select A and if there is a recurrent infringements, but even if I prove 100 times infringement, I will get only a maximum of 50,000.
50,000.
50,000 per design.
Per design, that's all.
Contract
That
debt.
may be the way in which you can reconcile it. Otherwise, I don't think that there will be any.
Or probably for 50,000 maximum for each infringement. Probably.
Design.
Each infringement of a design.
A particular design, that's all.
Okay, supposing there is a continuing offense. I don't know.
Because it is recoverable in respect of one design. It's like that.
For one infringement, is it not?
No.
It never says for one infringement.
For every contravention. It says for every contravention.
Every contravention means because you cannot
Every
say-
contravention, 25,000 is a minimum.
Yeah.
But
Every
maximum will be 50,000.
50,000. That's it.
Supposing there is another contravention.
No, you will have to
repeat.
you will have to
Repeat.
reconcile 22 and also the proviso or whatever be where the other has been mentioned.
Supposing the contravention is repeated, can you not apply the same bracket? I don't know.
I think Aruthi has been now.
Yes.
Yeah, please. You are acting a double role. We can see you
Yes,
in.
yes. Because there's some
Very good
problem with the system. I'm
We had
not
a
able to
Swami
connect
around.
you.
Umbadi Swami. Okay, fine. Please.
So now I'm from the phone.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Just two observations. First, regarding the overlap. Now, when a person who's an entrepreneur, he will choose whether he wants to use this particular, let's say,
Design.
under the Design Act or under the trademark. For example, let's take the case of the shape. Baju sir was referring to the shape of Coca-Cola bottle. Now, if I am the entrepreneur and I want the bottle to identify me, not just the beauty of the product, but to recognize me, which is a function of the trademark. So in such situation, I will prefer registering shape as a trademark.
But But market
Trademark.
definition not only takes in shape,
No, shape can also be a mark.
can
So for
also be.
Coca-Cola, there are multiple trademarks. The
Yes.
way Coca-Cola is written, the color combination, the style, the shape of the bottle. So you can
Okay.
have n number of trademarks. So it's actually how the entrepreneur wants it. So if I'm a manufacturer of a bottle, let's say I'm in the business of manufacturing water bottles, and I have n number of water bottles, and I want a particular series coming out, and my series needs to look in a particular way. So I am not intending it to identify me, but it's just the way it has to look, a particular series has to look. So then I will register it under the Design Act. So it's how I want it to be protected. Is the rationale I will employ as to whether my protection should be under trademark or under design. Design law is
Then, but there you get only 15 years maximum registration.
so when you understand that your market is very small and you want to exploit a very small in the sense a short-term market, you will as a design because you get for a shorter period of time.
No,
But
because
if
the
you are-
bottles probably are, as Ardi was thinking about, it will not last for a longer period. You will have change, go on, change the
keep on
design.
changing.
Go on, change the
Yeah.
design for the purpose of attracting the people.
Yes, but if you want to associate it with you for a long term, that the moment you see the bottle, you must identify the product as Coca-Cola, then you want to protect it as trademark because it's a long-term association. Similarly, is the overlap with copyright and design also. Again, Baju sir was giving the example of designer dresses. That's actually what designers do. So Manish Malhotra or Sabyasachi, the dress they design, they will register it or they leave it for the protection under copyright because they want it to be designer and cost and sell at a very high cost. So the number of units that they will be producing will be less than 50. But if making a garment which you are putting into industry, you want to make thousands of pieces of it, then you do not go under the Copyright Act, you register it under the Design Act. So it's on how you want to exploit. If your market is on minimum number of units with very high price, you remain with copyright regime. But if your market strategy is comparatively lower prices but huge number of units, then you go under the design regime. So that is how entrepreneurs pick and choose which regime of IP you want to protect it in situations where we have these overlaps. Okay. Regarding contract debt, now all the cases that I have seen, I have actually invoked only clause B, which talks about damages, because injunction is available there. So every infringer, every person whose design is being infringed, what he basically wants is an injunction along with a compensation. And in contract debt, the provision doesn't talk about injunction. It's clause B of compensation. It talks about injunctions. So most cases I have seen, they have not discussed on the issue of contract debt at all. They ask for a compensation and an injunction. So what exactly is the rationale of giving this 25,000 to 50,000? I am also not clear as to how the court would decide it. Particularly because I've not seen courts doing that. The rationale being, it's because the party wants injunction.
No, probably people will go for the second only because they want to inject the person from using it and also consequential damages also. That is the only thing possible.
Is contract debt defined?
No, sir. No, sir.
No,
it's
it
not
is not
defined.
defined. Not defined.
No, probably that may be as to under section 72 of the contract act, where say the liquidated damages, fixing the amount.
Contract debt doesn't make any sense. Debt.
As though it is saying recovery, as though it is a public revenue. That's all.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. One more person had raised the hand, but it's no longer. That is phone number. It was.
You auction the name by phone number.
That is 1 second, sir. I'll just mention the name once more. Galaxy A2.
Hand icon has vanished.
Now vanished.
So
okay.
probably you would have been satisfied with the explanation given by others.
Could be. I mean, the confusion was regarding that minimum amount and the maximum amount. I think if it's not clarified by them, there is no more clarification that's possible. I hope there is one Shoaib Hussain. Our Shoaib has shown the hand.
You will have to unmute.
1 second, sir.
It's already answered.
That's
Yes.
50 per. That's
Okay, okay.
regarding the copyright.
Okay, then anyone
So if
else?
it is not registered, so if it is not registered under the Designs Act, then for copyright protection you need not register it, because once a product is complete or work is completed, automatically the right will be
one more
devolved
question.
on-
Previous enter, is it not?
Biju,
Prior
one more
entrance.
question I want to ask is, suppose in a case you said both the designs were registered, the one registered owner can file a suit for injunction or
Cancellation.
whatever cancellation is there. Suppose other man says mine is the prior point of time. Can it not that defense available to him and say that he is not entitled for a cancellation?
Previous user.
No, here the protection is only. I mean, the prior that of course that can be. If it is a prior register, if it was existence prior to the registration, definitely that is a ground. Because other design can be cancelled also.
The person who filed the suit
Prior
also may
existing.
no, not that. The person who filed the suit also may lose his registration sometimes.
That's what. It can be. His registration will be cancelled.
It may be a counterproductive sometimes.
Yeah. Right.
Yes.
So in such case,
No,
such
can
situation
it
that
not-
the suit
no,
will
can
be
it-
transferred to High Court. So that will be
Oh,
decided by
okay.
High Court.
And not by the same court as a counterclaim.
No.
Not
If
by a
the-
counterclaim. Not
If
by a
the-
counterclaim.
if the- No. If there's a counterclaim like this, then it has to be transferred to High Court.
I see.
High
No,
Court.
here I think it is being done by the High Court itself. You said that was in the original jurisdiction because the OS number was given.
Ah.
If that be the case, whether that will have to be claimed as a counterclaim or even without a counterclaim, if I raise a claim that mine is a prior registration.
No, sir, that is in the High Court. When the High Court has original jurisdiction, all this, I mean.
If that be the
Court.
case,
So
if that
in
be
that
the
case,
case,
it will be held by the same court only.
Is it not on the basis of valuation? High Court jurisdiction?
No, sir. There is, I mean.
I
But in
think so.
in Delhi, I think there is a, I mean, higher this, I mean, limit. So now what they do is they increase this amount and shows this higher amount.
Bring it within the High Court.
Yeah, bring within that.
So I think the doubts, at least it being a novel and new topic, there isn't much doubts on it. But I mean, all the doubts have been clarified. So I'd say, Dilip sir, hand item.
Absence of a criminal
please.
prosecution.
that is a
Worrying me.
That of course. Yes, Dilip sir.
I just wanted to get a clarification as to whether the second approach 22A is not in violation or is not in contradiction with the proviso. 22(1) says to pay to the registered proprietor of the design a sum not exceeding 25,000. And proviso says that the total sum recoverable in respect of any one design, the clause A, shall not exceed 50,000.
And that may be the reason why I said for each infringement, it should not exceed 25,000. So, suppose it's a continuing.
Every contravention not exceeding.
Every contravention. So, if there are 2 contraventions or 3, if it is for 1 contravention, limit is 25. If
Continuing
it is
offense. Continuing offense.
If it is 3 also 50. That is a slab.
Slab, that's right.
Yes, sir.
I think because 22, the first portion itself says like that every contravention. You have to read that into that.
No, that is the way only in which you can reconcile it both.
Exactly. Or else it will not be reconciled.
Thank you, Dilip sir. So as we come to the end of the 156th session, over to you, Prem.
Well, Biju, it was a good talk. And what I could understand from your talk is because that the element of design, it involves 2 fundamental elements, like the product, it should perform its functions, and that it should be a pleasant to look at or appealing to the eyes. Now, the predominance and the preeminence of the aesthetic elements over this functional element that satisfies the definition of design, which we see in section 2D. Now, I have some small doubts because I'm totally new to this branch of law. So if my doubts are irrational, please excuse me. As you already told, artistic works it is designed in the Copyright Act of 57, which was excluded as the design. But kindly see 15.2, which you referred to. That clearly says if it is applied for 50 times, right? Is it necessary that it should be applied by the industry process only by the owner of that particular copyright, or can anybody? Suppose if it is without consent, then can 15.2 apply?
That you mean to say that if I mean whether this
This 50 times, shouldn't that be applied by the owner himself?
Owner only, because if no somebody else, because because only owner is authorized to I mean apply this design on a product. If somebody else, if a third party applies, that is an infringement of copyright.
Okay.
Registered proprietor.
Infringement of copyright. That will not come. I mean regarded as the use by the owner of the design. I mean, and the copywriter.
Registered proprietor. Did not.
Yeah, proprietor. No, here not the registered, no, because if it is not registered only, it will be protected under the copyright. So
Copyright.
I mean, Prem was asking about the copyright protection. If it is not registered under the design.
Not
No,
that. Suppose one thing I before that suppose I outsource a person for the purpose of a drawing and get a drawing for my product, which I am attached to my project, and I'm applying for the either.
You pay if you pay for it, then you purchase that.
No, I purchase it. No, then whether the person who has drawn it will get an independent right either to register under the
once he takes money,
copyright, or
once he takes money, I don't think.
Maybe that may be a selling. His right is being sold.
Because,
but Biju, I think still, even if it is paid everything, he has some basic inalienable rights, like integrity, or it not being. I mean, it's just like that hose thing. Hose was rained. The hose was supposed to be a depiction of freedom, etc. But for some function, rains were put on that, and even though it was sold already.
See, don't you remember a controversy between the brother of Yesudas and the for every rendition, every repetition of the song in the AAR, he should pay. He should get money. He was claiming some money.
Royalty.
And then
it was taken to newer heights by Ilayaraja, and it was a major controversy.
No, that I mean copyright. I mean that is why for the copyright that what you said is right. So that is the reason why we always advise this to get a proper assignment. In the name of the applicant.
Producer.
Even assignment
if you apply for a copyright registration, they will ask for this same origin. Who is the original author? And if the applicant is a different person other than the original author, then you'll have to produce a deed of assignment, showing that this copyright has been assigned by the author in the applicant's name.
No, there also there also I think the owner of the copyright, the person who has designed it, has got a right to restrict for a particular period when I am assigning it also, because I always retain the ownership. That is possible under the Copyright Act.
That's what, because we have to get, because even if you contract somebody to get a job
there can be a license.
Always better to get it through in your name through a proper deed of assignment.
There could be a license also, is not? It
can be licensed also. That's also one of the rights of a registered owner.
Now, just like now, Muthoot
but there is under the Patent Act. There is if you're an employee, if copyright also there is a provision. If an employee creates a work during the course of his employment, automatically the employer will be the
that
is there. Still, I think it is always advisable to get a proper deed of assignments and
other is a part of the employment. He is doing it for the employer. That's also he will not be claiming an independent right on the art.
Even
he paid for that.
Because there was a very famous case with software, because software is protected in India under Copyright Act. There is no ban.
And Bob and Modi,
when the this software engineers who developed some copyrights, challenge this. I think it is in Satyam. That is, I think that was filed in US. when the Satyam, I think it's 2008 or somewhere. The software was developed by their Satyam's employees, the software engineers. But Satyam, they were employees and there was a proper employment contract, everything was there. But when they transferred this software to some other US company, I think UPedia or something like that, one by the name in the US, then this software engineer challenge because we hold this copyright over that. So there is a very, then finally they have to settle it by paying something.
Compensation.
So that is after that, now, even if they are an employee, it's always advisable. Everyone gets it through a deed of assignment in the employee's name. That's always safer.
There was a dispute between Malayalam Manorama and Tom's regarding Bobanu Moli.
Very famous.
Bobanu Moli.
Yeah. That's went up to Supreme Court.
It was settled, I think.
Finally settled, and I think it is finally order in favor of Manorama. Manorama gave the right to voluntarily gave the right to Thoms. That's how it's finally.
No, sir. The right was recognized.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please.
The right was recognized as that of B.T. Thomas itself.
Can you say?
I think it is not because I think that's because of what happened is that they
won the case. You're right.
Manorama won, I think.
Won the case and they surrendered the right to
him. That is not because they said that it was created by a group of people. So many people are associated with the creation of the content, and he doesn't hold alone. It's not his own creation. So that they succeeded to something like that. They're able to establish something like that. I think I'm not completely aware.
You will have to mute
Arti,
one.
there is some problem with your audio.
No,
audio
because you are using both. You do one thing, mute one and use the other. Yeah, please. Now you have muted both.
One at a time.
Okay.
Yeah, please. That's it.
In that case, there were two issues. One was the works that were created when he was an employee of Malayalam Manorama. There were strips, and there was the right of those characters, Boban and Moli, which he started creating prior to his employment in Malayalam Manorama.
Yes.
So it was said that all the strips that he created during his course of employment belongs to Malayalam Manorama, but the characters Boban and Moli belongs to V.T. Thomas. So post the next engagement he had was with Kerala Kaumadi, I guess. So Kala Kaumadi has this new strips but with the same characters Boban and Moli. So there's this distinction of character being protected and the strips being created. So in one, it was held the right belongs to Malayalam Manorama, but the characters it was held to belong to V.T. Thomas.
That is why Malayalam Manorama is no more publishing it. Is it not?
Yes.
Right.
Without the name, the script will not have any existence. Probably that may be the reason why.
Yeah, Prem.
Okay, now I will come to my second.
Once you're stripped, then you have no claim. Yes.
Yeah,
What exactly is the originality of a design? Suppose a person registers a design for a particular product and another person applies the same design on a different product. Is the right protected? For example, take it this way. A registered design of a bracelet, somebody else goes and applies it to a watch strap. What will be the legal implication?
No infringement.
No, as per that is possible because that's if you register a product with respect to a particular class. So your right is only with respect to that. Goods in that particular class. If it is applied on different product, that's what this. It has to be registered separately. If a design is eligible to be registered under different products in different classes.
Is the concept of passing off anyway applicable, which is applicable to trademark? Is it
Even passing off action will not lie.
Passing off is passing off. There are recent case laws in the last couple of years. So where this, Delhi High Court and Bombay High Court said that, to certain extent, passing off action will be, lie against this infringement, but only in case such designs, as we discussed earlier, if that such designs are eligible to be a trademark, because if it is
identified.
Identifies a trademarks, function also is there. If you able to show that this same design, discharges a function of as a trademark as well, then it may, the passing of action also will lie. So in, I think 2 case laws, one is from Bombay, one is from Delhi, it is there. So that is there, but otherwise it is not, because passing of, action, because under the Trademark Act, there's clear provision is there. So passing of remedy is available here, because as the your right is available only on registration. So then common law remedy is normally it's not.
No, supposing
available.
I market hosiery, banians under the name Bata with the same writing style, everything, without any registration. Can a passing of action lie against me at the instance of Bata?
Definitely. Trademark, under Trademark Act, of course. Trademark Act, it is definitely, but under the Designs Act, if
Not
a design
shoes.
is.
I'm not selling shoes. I'm selling hosiery under the name Bata.
Definitely, because it is in India, under Trademark Act, there is a concept of well-known trademark as well. Even if you use a well-known trademark in respect of a totally different
good.
Different goods also it is, protected. That is a concept of well-known trademark. Because if a trademark is so well-known that if you use that trademark with respect to a totally different goods, if the people identify that goods as from this particular source, then that is considered as a well-known trademark. So if your trademark is a well-known, like Bata or anything of that, so I think
there is a well-known case of Ben's underwear and banians, wherein the court held that nobody is going to get deceptive or deceived by the fact that Ben's company is going to.
Ben's and Frenzy. Ben's, that is a classic case. That I was about to tell that. Ben's used for VIP. That for underwear.
Yes.
So underwear they use it via Ben's. So that's a
that logo. With that typical logo.
Instead of logo, they use a person, a man with the stretched hand. And
deceptively looks like the logo.
Deceptive similarity.
That is
price star, yeah.
No, this kind of, this well-known trademark owners take it very seriously, because I remember another instance in the Slumdog Millionaires, that famous movie. There was a scene, in fact, originally there was a scene where this character, the main character, after winning this, this quiz competition, he, gets money and he comes to this slum in a Benz car. And also there's another scene that he's having this Coca-Cola in the, this slum. So both companies, against this for to move those, remove those scenes, because they said that will, that is that what you will dilute their brand image. So if you show Ben's car in slum background, so that will dilute her, because both Coca-Cola as well as Ben's Daimler both sued and got it removed from the film.
As far as Coca-Cola is concerned, everybody can consume. If it is a slum dealer or a...
No, but
as far as the Benz car, we can understand, because it is not beyond the reach of us. The
in fact, it's a free advertisement, because it's an internationally well-known movie. It is a free advertisement for them. Because normally for such placement, such product placement, you have to company have to give a lot of money to the producers. But although they get a free advertisement, they didn't agree with that. So that's a strange thing.
I'm going to start whistling under the name Rolls Royce.
Anything else?
Again, Prem is interpreted. That is interpreted. That is
no. But I would ask you one fanciful doubt. Take, for instance, that there are 2 registered designs.
Yes.
A third person takes half each of those 2 registered designs and applies it to his own product, which also is similar. Suppose like this.
No deceptive similarity.
Wait, for example, take 2 registered designs either of a chair or of a table. The designs which pertain to the lower part of either one table or one chair and the upper part of another is being applied by a third party for the same kind of table and chair.
It will become half lion, half man. Half man, half lion.
Narasimha, just like a Narasimha.
Is that
Raundra-
In fact, there's
Yeah.
one thing is that
No.
I mean, if as I have to point out in one case law, if there is an overall similarity with a design, that is still it will be considered as an infringement. And another aspect is that if it is a part of, because I had gone through a case law where it's a part of a design was registered, only a small part of that design was copied by another person, and other part of his his own design. But he couldn't succeed because only that particular separate portion didn't have registration separately for that design, because his design was as a whole. But in such case, it is a case to case basis. The court will have to decide. On the basis of the
particular fact?
right.
But
But whether it is
possibility.
overall similar, because I
Possibility to cause confusion
cause
in the mind,
confusion,
in the mind of the customer
Unwary purchaser.
and where
yes.
a purchase.
So
Because
that will have to be
in case of imitation, suppose what is substantial difference, it is a question upon which there is no general principle. It must depend upon the particular facts of each case.
correct. Exactly.
In one case, quite a small variation in the details of the design and it will be enough to make a huge difference, or to make the design something quite different from the existing one.
Exactly.
And on the other hand, there can be cases where large alterations in every detail that would lead to designs for all practical purposes. But still, because then the court with an instructed eye has to say whether there is substantial difference between the two or not, right? Because you cannot go by in a watertight principle.
No, because, and also you cannot say that every aspect, every inch of this product cannot be considered. That's a general stand taken by the court, because they take only overall. If it is as Sir has said, because if it is a general, if it is causing confusion, whether it is overall similarity, that will be considered by the. That is why you can see a lot of different judgments, because one court takes a different view.
Yes.
But one case law I remember that I think this decade back and see that I think that Harpic bottle that Harpic's bottle is a shape. So then they had sued against one of this I think one of Indian company I don't remember. So then the court found out that this has become common to this particular types of goods, because all use these types of so you have lost its. I think it has lost its distinctiveness or its uniqueness, and everyone is using this. So you can't claim any right over that. That's some case, because I don't exactly remember something like that. That for that particular
universal acceptance or something like that. Universal acceptance.
There is a classic item. Hindustan Lever's dalda. Every purchaser will go to the shop and ask for 1 kilo of dalda. What is given is umda or something else. But what is purchased and sold is dalda.
Actually, we go to
it is hydrogenated vegetable oil.
There's like Xerox. We all use the Xerox. We all use Xerox. Xerox is a registered brand name, but we all use as a common,
And scissor was used as a synonym for cigarettes. So Wilson the scissor undo.
No, because you have a similar case in the Crocs Incorporated versus Liberty shoe, a batch of cases. The Crocs shoe, which is a perforated kind of shoe.
Yeah, right. That's case law. Yes. That's last year. That's. I think last year or last year. Yeah. But they didn't get the protection. I think finally.
They didn't get, because perforation means advertised long back during 2002.
Right. Correct.
So they didn't get. And finally, Ramkumar sir, what you asked was about the textile. That also is a covered visit of the Delhi High Court in that microfibers was of Giridhar.
Yes, Giridhar. That is the first case that we just discussed.
Textile, for textile design and for the wrapper, trademark.
It did not consider the
textile design. That case law discusses about textile design.
Fabric design.
That's a 50 copy.
That Britannia company's case.
Wrapper, there are so many cases, because in the trade, normally this term is trade dress. So trade dress, either it can be a wrapper, or even if nowadays some company, for example, this color combination used on the petrol pumps. Different petrol companies use a different petroleum. I mean, this pumps, they use different color combination, stripes and all this. Even that also can be considered as a trade dress, because by only seeing that color, you can identify the company, whether there is Hindustan Petroleum or Bharat Petroleum or whatever it is. So it's a wider. Sorry.
No. See, the operating wrapper, can it fall under the Designs Act?
Trademark.
Copyright Act.
Trademark. It can come under the trademark.
Which one?
No, can it fall under the Designs Act or the Copyright Act? Because wrapper cannot be an industry. It is not industry purpose, so it cannot be under the Designs Act.
No, that's under trademark actually. That's under trademark act. Also, it can be protected under copyright as well.
Copyright.
Both.
But
Trademark and copyright, there is no bar in protecting a wrapper under trademark and copyright. You can simultaneously register under Copyright and Trademarks Act. The package design, wrapper design, as I said, that can be registered under Trademark Act as well as under Copyright Act. Both registration can be you can have simultaneously. There is no bar in.
Because you said about the bottle of that vodka.
Yeah, Gorbachev.
So let me ask you this way: that is for the bottle. What about the caps of the bottle? Can there be? Of course,
that also can be. Cap also is if it's this design is this vodka design is without a cap. This design I remember without cap, only bottle, because actually that is in the shape of that Moscow, that church, that Orthodox famous church,
Basilica.
Leningrad or somewhere. That's so that the shape is based on that shape of that church, Orthodox church. But that doesn't include the cap, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
So cap also, if it is cap also can be registered separately if it is.
Oh, you have to register
eligible.
Separately.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you so much. It was a wonderful class. Thank you so much.
And before we conclude our session, one single question. That is, we are aiming for uniform civil code. We want uniform labor code. We want uniform all sort of codes. What about intellectual property? Why do we have this 101 statutes? Why can't we have a uniform a code or a law for intellectual property with whatever classifications you want built inside? What is your take on
different
that?
Subject matters? Different subject matters.
You can't have because each intellectual property has its own different and individual kind of the level of protection, and it's a criteria. Everything is different, so you can't have. But you can have some countries have like Nepal or some other countries have a single act. Intellectual Property Act has separate division of trademark, design, copyright, everything.
Just like arbitration and conciliation can be possible. Arbitration and conciliation can be possible. Can't say.
ADR.
Uniform provision cannot be applied for all protection.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Biju. Yeah, wonderful. It's almost 6:30. We are fringing. So that was wonderful interaction. And I think these last 3 days, 3 different subjects. And I think we are not just empowered, but also enlightened. And special thanks to you, Biju, for coming over to the platform again and delivering a lecture on designs. And Aarati Ashok, even it was a last minute request. You accommodated our request and did a wonderful, not just introduction, but also interaction. That was indeed wonderful. And we are indebted to you.
And what about your music therapy?
Music therapy, the week thereafter, sir. We are planning to have that music therapy session so that let us have all the musicians coming together from different gharanas and different parts of the country and different, let it be Carnatic, let it be even pop music. I don't know whether it will be, maybe it might also act.
Now, let there not be a blending of the two.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely
Fusion.
We don't mix spirits, sir. We'll have it very, very plain and straight. So as we come to the end of the 156th session, thank you, the speaker, Biju, the introducer, and definitive interaction, Aarati Ashok, Justice Ramkumar sir, Justice Ramakrishnan sir, for your valuable presence and inputs, and all of you wonderful participants for actively participating. And till we meet again next weekend. Please do take care, stay safe. And I'm sure that the cacophony of the last day election campaigning is going on. So I was not able to be in it because the road is passing very close by. So it's very, very difficult to stay here. Anyway, the elections are going to happen. So we'll be meet next week. Do take care, stay
Thank
safe.
you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you.
Thank you.